Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Sorry. Can everyone hear me? Hello? Hello? Hello, everyone. Hello. Alright. Hear myself. I'm switching up my recording equipment. Alright. Let's get started. So, today we are gonna talk of we is the possibility of the last Genshin stream in a while. I don't know if that's actually the truth. I'm getting so many different mixed signals about because originally I knew if a strike was gonna ever happen, Genshin would be struck as Formosa. I did hear from a friend though that it's not actually Formosa Interactive. Now I realize that it is Formosa Ocean Outpost, but I'm now hearing from other VAs different things. Friends of mine that are saying that a lot of things are struck because it's based on an interactive media agreement. I'm hearing many different things. I do want to talk though about AI on YouTube a little bit. I think I might do a little video essay that honestly I don't think should be too hard. Um, but yeah, we're downloading right now. How is everyone today? We are gonna finish Sigewinne's quest because it does relate a little bit to AI. In my opinion, because it's about self-enhancement. And we also can talk about a little bit of Natlan because Natlan again has problems. I think I talked about them on my stream waiting for the game to download. Honestly, I'm a little tired, just a little out of it. So this might just be me vibing. So far, the stream looks good on my end. But again, how is everyone? But yeah, again, the strike is happening. So the deal with the strike is voice actors. There's the threat that voice actors are going to be replaced by computers. I still don't fully know how that happens, but if you watch people do basically like do AI covers and AI acting, the acting can actually be kind of good. Like I was watching, I don't want to endorse anything, but the guy by the name of Very Tall Bart, and he does like Ben Shapiro. Not to get too political, but does like Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, and they do stuff, and you can really hear like Ben Shapiro kind of acting through the AI, and that's scary that you can get emotions. But I think something that JB Blanc talks about, who is the voice of Brahmin League, Slayer in Guilty as Strive, my boy Slayer, my main best character. He talked about spontaneity. Actually, I think it was JB Blunt, but it was an AI thing by Nava, and they talked about the importance of people, and I think a more important thing is playfulness. That's what I want to talk about in the video is playfulness. Yeah, mystery. I don't know if this game is actually struck. I think we might be able to talk about. Hey, mystery. Mystery's a good support of the channel. Um, yeah. Again, I don't know if Genshin's actually struck. I thought it was definitely, but it might not actually be, according to Ambi's VA. Oh no. Don't know. No. Lag. Alright, let's talk to Zakaria. Well, let's play this game and have fun. Oh, Sigewinne. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm not really the one striking. I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna be on the picket lines. I'm not gonna be on the picket lines. Wait. What? What's going on?
I found the perfect job for the traveler. First, I'd like you to lie down in this bed.
Let's just vibe and do auto. I'm really out of it. Sleepy baby.
I need you to pretend to be sick.
Oh, Sigewinne, you lying bitch.
Oh, is it that difficult? I thought you did a pretty good job last time.
Yes, Siege. Okay.
Oh,
Now I'm starting to see why Sarah will.
Did. He was way more interesting than the usual malingering inmates, and you played along very well, Paimon. I observed you two for quite a while after that.
Wait. Yes. She's talking about the Fontaine Archon quest. Yeah, they pretended to be sick. Right. Ha 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 ha. Sigewinne, you observing little bitch. You observing little bitch, but you're precious, Bo, and you're so freaking precious. I love you.
Well, this is awkward. But why do you need us to do it again now?
Because we want to recycle the plot.
No time to explain. My next patient will be here any second. Please just do as I say. You can, pretend like you've got a nasty headache. And throw in some dry heaving for good measure.
Come on. You
Okay.
can do it. You can do it, Paimon. I believe in you.
Hey, Doc. It's me. I'm only here because my mom won't stop pestering me about it. So annoying.
Very much mostly devious.
Your mother has enough on her plate with a busy job. The last thing she needs is to worry about you being sick as well.
I know.
Baby.
I shouldn't treat the place like a playground. Shouldn't go swimming in the lower levels where we join up with the sea, because it'll give me a cold and distract her from her work.
And what about the primordial
I thought I'd be able
seawater?
to have some fun here at the fortress for a few days, but it's always, don't do this and don't do that.
All right. Sit yourself down and I'll take your temperature. Your fever still hasn't gone down. Well, here's your medicine. 1 cup for starters, and we'll see if it helps.
But Doc, it's so bitter. Do I really have to drink it?
Take your medicine, kid.
I'll be fine, right?
Take the
I've got an
medicine.
uncle who caught a cold. His fever went away
Can't-
on its own
okay.
after a couple days.
Okay.
Can't you just write me a note saying I'm on the mend?
No.
It's something to keep my mom off
No,
my case.
no, Luke. No, you're a bad kid. No. I mean, aren't all the bitter like I've had stomach problems, and I kind of want to just clip this. But again, I don't want to really put anything out Genshin wise. So if whoever's been here, whoever stumbles upon this VOD, I had stomach problems, and I mean I saw like there's Mylanta, and so you get, I'll just say you get diarrhea, and you take the Mylanta, and you take the Pepsid, but the Mylanta it says caramel taste, and they make it less bitter. It's just still bad, but they made it less bitter. But I mean, like, there's certain bitter medicines they make it for kids. Like, they make everything for kids a lot sweeter. But then for adults, they don't make it sweet. It's like, no, the adults, they deserve to have it. Bitter, I guess, does it mean bitter mean it's more, 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 how is this? Is it more effective if it's more bitter? I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is more bitter. I'm sure it is more effective. Do I want to show this to my friend? Is this where I realize right this character is a nurse. Show this to my when all this is over. I want to show this also to my friend.
I sure can. You're a very brave boy after all.
Huh? Brave? What makes you say that?
Well, if you want to rely on your own immune system to clear up your fever, then you'll have to tough it out like this guy.
Oh, you sick. You devious. This is the most devious way to get a cold. I'm loving this. Paimon, be sick. Come on. Can't you lie on the...
Hang in there, traveler. Are you gonna puke? Paimon can get you a paper bag.
Huh?
As long as you're tough enough to get through the nausea and dizziness caused by the high fever,
This
you'll be
quest
right
slaps.
fine after just a few days rest.
And if I'm not tough enough?
Hey! Wake up! Wake up! Put it this way. At least you'll never have to see the doctor again, right?
I think maybe I'll take that medicine after all, if that's okay.
Oh, of course. Here, it's still warm.
It's so bitter. Oh.
Then he shot himself.
All done. Great job, you two.
Ah.
That kid really doesn't know what's good for him. His mother's a guard here. She's been working back-to-back shifts lately, but unfortunately, his father's away on a business trip right now. She had no choice but to bring her son here for the time being. He was quite happy at first. He seemed to think that the Fortress of Meropide would be all fun and games.
I'm happy to see the doctor. I like my doctor. Doesn't mean I necessarily... It's just a schlep. Like, I mean, you still have to drive, and you still pay money and all that, even if you have the best healthcare. Yeah. Now, frequently visiting your therapist, on the other hand, also a lot of money, especially if your therapist is, charges a lot. So... Yeah. But... It would be all... Oh! The Fortress of Meropide would be all fun and games. Sort of like, that movie, Life is Beautiful, where they... I'm not gonna... Let's not go any further. This is correct, Mystery. This is very correct. You should try to avoid being sick as much as possible. I used to be very good at not being sick. Now I just have the chills a lot. And now I have back pain. I just got back pain last night. My mom says to not lean over at your computer, and I did it. No, it's not It's a Wonderful Life. No, the movie Life is Beautiful, where it's a comedy that takes place during the Holocaust. And it's not haha funny, people are dying. It's, no, this is dark and depressing. Let me make some fun of life. And the kid it's like the kid doesn't know that, maybe the kid doesn't know it's a jail. No, the kid knows it's a jail. But and it's like the dad makes it so that the kid, for the whole time, doesn't realize they're actually about to die, even though the kid keeps on saying they're about to die. The cat tries to assure him that they're not gonna die. They're not in the Holocaust. It's a beautiful movie. We actually watched it. I watched it before for history class in high school, but then I watched it in in grad school for a psychology of wisdom class. Practical Wisdom, where we talked about, we talked about, wisdom, about experiencing richness in life. And obviously, in the Holocaust, that's and in this jail, even finding psychological richness is a very important thing in any life, but especially in jail, and especially when you're about to die. And this is actually true. I read about this in my book on Child's Play, that children during the Holocaust would actually play games, and that would make them feel better. They would pretend, and it was really weird, but you know what? Good for them. They were about to die. So here, this game is not about the Holocaust, but I just had to mention that up because kid in a cell. I don't know. It's like Life is Beautiful. I'm so, and also the movie's in Italian. So you know what? That's Fontaine. Some Italian people here. All right.
So you made us put on that act just to scare a kid into taking his medicine? That's a pretty sneaky trick. Seems like there's a whole side to Sigewinne we never knew about.
No, you definitely knew about this side.
It's a technique I learned from my teacher.
Well, no, basically, oh my god, are you precious people? No, it's not, it's a one, okay, basically, I was still thinking, like, I thought the kid was actually in jail, and his mom was also in jail, and they went to jail, so that's why it really was like, I thought it was like Life is Beautiful, where they're both in jail, but no, he's not in jail. He's like if he was the son of a person doing the Holocaust. Yeah, which does also happen in the movie, where he takes his kid to a bunch of Nazi kids. It was okay. Let's we're done.
Oh, you had a teacher? Was she a Melazine doctor too? She was human. She passed away a long time ago.
Putting the title in the chat. La vita è bella.
Oh, sorry.
Life is beautiful.
No, it's fine. I really liked my teacher, so it's always nice when I get to talk about her with other people. She was a traveling doctor, and since she didn't have a clinic, she'd go out and visit her patients wherever they were. Dealing with the badly behaved ones was her specialty.
Was this doctor also the witch that you saw? Probably not, but
She used to say, if you can scare the little brats into taking their medicine, you won't have to hear them wailing and screeching when their condition gets worse.
Yeah, this was definitely an old lady, and still possibly the witch.
Huh, she sounds like a pretty strict teacher.
And that's China.
Strict? Well, that's not how my teacher saw it. She thought of herself as terrifying to kids.
That's worse!
Strange way for a doctor to describe themselves. Now Paimon's curious to know what she looked like.
She was the witch. No.
Oh, as it happens, I actually have a picture of her.
Not the witch, but hello, woman from, that paint from Roman Gothic. Hello. You look exactly like the woman from Roman Gothic.
Oh, wow, yeah, okay, that'll terrify the kids. Yep. All the children she treated thought she was a witch.
But she wasn't actually a witch, unless she actually was the witch.
Why does it almost sound like you're envious of her?
Do you secretly want to be a witch too, Sigewinne?
Oh, because I am. If she was here, all the children would take their medicine without any need for tricks.
Have an ugly... Wait, doctor would have an ugly mug as rugs. Wonderful, exactly.
A doctor who looks like a witch.
Exactly.
Sure, they wouldn't dare try anything funny with her around. Oh, me, on the other hand, it's hopeless. Children aren't afraid of me at all.
Because you pay baby, and you look like a child.
That's actually a good thing, you know?
Yes, I would say I think a doctor. You know what? I kind of want to show this to my friend. Okay. You know, a doctor. A doctor should. You know how in children's books we teach children talk about how they don't like the doctor. But here's the thing. Children should like the doctor. See, this is talking about two different ways of parenting and two different ways of teaching. You can either go super strict and you get it out of them, but really, why do you have to get it that way when you could just get it the nice and happy, authoritative, where there are some punishments, but it's not horrible.
Oh, my next patient should be arriving now. Would you mind lending me a hand again?
There's all these child clones, and I need to terrify them.
Sure thing! On to the next mission!
I love the way Paimon said that. We don't play. Oh, it's fine.
Already? That flew by. Well, thanks to you two, it was much easier today. Aww. Should we get some rest? It's getting... Oh, there is one last thing. Confidential? Are you sure you can tell us? It's fine. You're not living here anymore, so it's okay if you know. All it is... Wait, you mean those healthy meals? My patients refuse to eat any healthy meals I prepare in front of them, so I have to prep the ingredients in secret, then let the chef at the Coupon cafeteria handle the rest. Considering even the chef's version makes people uneasy, it really makes you wonder what's in it. You want to find out? I can teach you how to make it. That way, if you ever suffer from exhaustion on your future travels, you can prepare a healthy meal for yourself. It's really good for you, you know. Sure? Guess we can help out one more time. The ingredients are ready. Now, put them on the table and add them in the order I tell you. First, we add this special slime condensate, stir it thoroughly, then pour it in. See that? It adds elasticity. It looks just like tasty jelly, doesn't it? Yeah, it really does. Until you remember it's slime condensate. Next up, xenochromatic crystals. You want to crush them up into a fine powder, like powdered sugar. Wait, are those from Fontimer Aberrants? Are you sure they're edible? Finally, we'll need some high protein.
Come on, isn't this?
Frogs
Come
are
on.
Excellent choice.
Watch Delicious in
Just
Dungeon.
think of
Everything
peanut
is edible.
innards, and then you're left with some lovely tender meat.
What is with this game animation? These
Frogs.
feel like animations that would be in a game that you would actually do.
And we're done. All that's left now is to pack them into lunch boxes and hand them to Walsey. Yesterday in the production zone, I noticed an inmate who's been working for 2 days straight. That means it's a healthy meal for him tomorrow. Sigewinne really does have the inmate's best interests at heart.
Oh, frog legs are the best. One of the best things I've had at a French restaurant. The first time I had frog legs was at fried frog legs at a place called Le Grand Oui in New York City. Very fancy French restaurant. And they were one of the best things I've had in my life. It's like that with like a nice mushroom or like saffron sauce and delicious. I go to authentic Chinese restaurants to try to get frog and it's not the same. Obviously it's not the same, but people want to eat frog after that. I know I have a friend who loves frogs. Who was a supervisor on my trip to Belize. Probably don't know if I should tell them that I've eaten so much. I won't eat snakes, not because they're disgusting, just because they're beautiful. I love them. Like a Wow. 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 Wow.
Ah, head nurse. Got some extras for me?
Just the one today. The serial number's on the lid.
Sounds good. I'll make sure it gets delivered.
Sounds like they're talking in code. Thanks for your help.
Oh, it's no trouble at all.
Do
I only
Filipinos,
wish I could do more. You work so
Filipinos
hard
make
for all
frog
our
and all?
sakes. I'd happily lose a little sleep if it meant helping you out.
Like I'm just gonna
That will
freaking
do.
say it. I feel like
If you
a horrible
reduce your
person saying
sleeping
it.
hours any further,
When I was in
your health
Japan,
will start to suffer.
when I was in Japan,
All right.
I
Nurse's
freaking say
orders.
this as an animal.
I'll do as I'm told. But you take care of yourself too.
I'm the diehard animal lover that will eat almost any animal. There are only I had horse sashimi and it was absolutely delicious. You don't eat frog. Okay. Well, more power to you. I do, and I'm a bad person for it. But apparently Filipinos also do
I'm
make
done with work for today.
people.
Thanks for helping out,
Filipinos do also make.
Seems like the guards and
make
staff
these
here have a
horses
lot of
well,
respect for
Papa.
you, Sigewinne. In just one day of helping you with your work, it feels like we've done a lot for the fortress.
Head nurse, please, wait. I'm sorry to disturb you this late at night, but I think you'll agree. This is urgent.
Okay, just relax and catch
Oh,
your
you
breath.
do want to try it? Oh,
What's
you.
the matter?
The guard at the observation ward,
Oh,
Odilon,
you got
he
it.
told me
You
to
gotta
pass on
try
a message
frog.
to you. One of the inmates there, the guy
gotta
suffering
try
from
it.
possible hallucinations, well, he seems to have
Oh,
made
we're
a
back
sudden
to the actual
recovery,
plot,
and now
okay.
he wants to apply for permission to leave the ward.
No, you can't leave.
Already?
Can't leave.
You were right to tell me. I'll have to examine him and make sure he's well before we discharge him.
Did anyone think that maybe these hallucinations are actually real?
Looks like
Seems
we've
like
got
what
one
we're
job
after
as
building
medical
to.
assistants left. We'll come with you.
Of course. Huh? We're going. Are we going back up? Going back up?
You, Clay, you're up.
Okay. Let's. You know what?
Go get him, you, Clay.
I'll burn my own. I don't care. I'll burn my own. You see the staff I'm using? It's like the Caduceus. Like it's the only freaking Yao Yao is the only person that makes use of it that we got from the freaking alchemy event. The freaking Caduceus right here. Wait. Firefly! We got the band together. Great. Alright, let's do this. I can teleport. But hi, Firefox. Okay. Oh no. No. Which one is? No, that. This the production. No, this is below. Where's... Wait a minute. Oh, this is a. There we go. Hey, you're forgetting it's that one.
Ah, head nurse, you're finally here. I'm so sorry for all the trouble I've caused you, but I believe I've now made a full recovery.
Also, Firefox, you missed my whole, long tangent about Life is Beautiful. The movie about the Holocaust in Italian, where there's a kid, and he's not, and it's sad, but the dad's pretending that, okay, let's stop talking about it.
After giving it some thought, I'm sure that I was probably just seeing things. Stress-related, I imagine. I'd been working long hours, so I definitely wasn't in the best state of mind.
Wait, is this guy the wanted criminal?
I totally understand. Still, I have to give you an examination before I can discharge you, okay? So, take a deep breath and don't be nervous. It'll be the exact same procedure as we did this morning. We can start whenever you're ready.
Again, so sorry. I was in such a state this morning, I barely recall anything. Would you mind taking me through it again?
Oh, not at all. It's a lot to remember. First up, we have a little cognitive test. Just concentrate and you'll be fine. To start with, which finger am I holding up?
Your pinky.
Alright, all indicators seem normal.
So it was a stress-induced hallucination after all?
Well, we've certainly had previous cases of mental illness caused by overwork, which is why I carefully observe everyone in the production zone. I wonder how I managed to miss the signs this time.
Please, head nurse, you shouldn't blame yourself. I'm just still adapting, that's all. Pushed myself too hard, and I guess I couldn't take it. Thanks for looking after me. I'll be as good as new after a good night's sleep. And if you can give me the okay, I know I'll sleep better back in my good old dorm.
It can be difficult to relax in an unfamiliar environment. Alright then, you can leave the ward.
Oh, he's just starting from the ward,
I
not
suggest you
from,
take
not
2
from
days
the,
off to focus on your
not, oh,
recovery.
not from prison.
We'll take you off the observation list for now.
Oh,
So, you're
I thought I was about to
officially
be discharged from
discharged.
prison.
Great. I can't thank you enough, head nurse.
Mr. Odilon, could you escort him back?
Of course. I'm on guard duty in the administrative area tonight, so nothing will go wrong. You have my word.
Guess you're finally done for the day now, huh?
Yep. But I still haven't gotten around to making that improved lotion for you yet.
Oh, no rush! Seriously, it's super late now. You should go get some rest too.
Well, tomorrow it is then. Good night, Traveler. Good night, Paimon. Hope you sleep well.
Oh, don't you worry. We will. After a productive day of work, we're both gonna sleep like... Yeah, sleep tight, Sigewinne. See you tomorrow.
Bay.
Oh, what's happening over there? Paimon really did sleep like a log. Let's go find Sigewinne. Yeah.
So I'm now getting, I just got a response on Twitter saying you can do Genshin. Okay. That helped. Production zone? No. What did we just do?
Oh, how is the infirmary even...
Good morning, Traveler and Paimon.
No problem.
There's a bit of a complicated situation.
You have to believe me. I'm telling the truth.
You're in a medical facility.
Please, listen to me. I'm not Gascon. I'm Uy.
You're a horrible liar, you know that? We get all your mugshots with the arrest warrants. It's clear as day that you're Gascon.
Yes.
You mean because of the way I
No.
look? I don't know what happened. I just woke up like this. And you guys dragged me in here
Slick
for an
as
interrogation.
Gascon. No, let's not start.
I brought you here to figure out what's going on. If you truly are the victim of an
All right.
This is nuts. Yesterday's interrogations went
Morning, Your Grace. What's going on?
Remember the case I mentioned yesterday? The one brought to me by the Marachose Phantom? Well, we've been questioning the inmates involved this morning. Every single one of them is claiming mistaken identity.
Huh. That's even weirder than what...
The thing is, none of them have been able to provide any evidence whatsoever to support their claims.
And we thought yesterday was as busy...
We've compiled their statements. Have a look. Perhaps there's something we missed.
Wait.
Release?
I noticed that too. If that's their plan, they're underestimating us a little. Every serious offender claims that there's someone else who just so happens to be due for release today.
All the more reason to be cautious. Lumberzar, check the release list for today and make sure no one gets processed. We're gonna need an excuse, though.
I'm on it.
It's conceivable that our group of serious offenders somehow found a way to switch places with inmates who are about to be released, so they can walk out right under our noses.
We did consider that possibility. But I mean, just look at them.
Only if they're dead ringers for the inmates due for release, I suppose. I gave you that name list yesterday to assist in—
Yes, the inmates' mugshots were attached to the list. The first thing I did was check for lookalikes, and I didn't find any. The only other thing that stands out to me is that their voices sound a little different today. But it's not exactly hard to put on a fake voice.
Oh, really? What does our head nurse make of all of this?
Give me a moment. I think I have a way to confirm whether there's been a switch. I know, it's not time to change your dressing yet, but please bear with me.
Huh? Isn't that the guy from yesterday?
This should be Honore. He has very severe facial ulcers, which require an operation in the hospital at the Court of Fontaine. I authorized him to leave the fortress for medical treatment under guarded escort.
Yes, like I told you. I'm not Putton. I'm Honore.
So there has been a swap. Well, I can see what happened in Potton's case, but how do you explain the other inmates? You're not telling me their souls switched bodies, are you?
No, I believe it was their faces that got switched.
Oh my god!
The method is a bit like replacing a tooth. Take the bad tooth
What
out,
the-
put a false one in.
What?
And actually, I think I can prove it to you. Traveler, Paimon, do you remember Eric from the other day?
Yeah, sure do.
Then you can be my witnesses. To start with, please fetch the inmate who claims to be Eric. So, you're Eric?
Yes, head nurse.
I need to do another examine.
All right.
Now, try to recall if you can.
I believe it was...
But that means...
Huh?
So, basically, last night, the Eric who said he saw another him suddenly recovered and applied to leave the observation ward. Sigewinne did another test before letting him leave, but that time...
Huh? I don't know about any test last night. There was...
Well, in that case, there is a reasonable explanation.
So, what exactly happened?
The gang of serious offenders wanted to break out of prison, so they identified a group of scapegoats, namely inmates whose terms were almost up, and planned to switch appearances with them. Last night, when Odilon was on duty, they ambushed him and had one of their group switch appearances with him using their face-swapping method. That allowed them to avoid scrutiny from the other guards. Then, once all the other inmates were asleep, Odilon spent his night shift carrying out the remainder of their switcheroo plan. However, they made one mistake. Henri changed his appearance to match Eric's earlier than he should have done, and ended up being spotted by the real Eric. Came to the guards for help, but we didn't know then what we know. However, since one of the gang members was posing as a guard, they simply changed real Eric's appearance and had their Eric take his place.
Right, because I put Eric on the observation list by then, and no inmates on that list can be processed for departure until I've discharged them.
Hence why the imposters had to pull that little stunt to get fake Eric off the list.
Yeah, it all makes sense now. The Duke cracked the case.
Well, I can't fault the reasoning. But I'm afraid that we ruled out...
Criminals altering their facial appearance to commit crimes is nothing new. In fact, One of the explicit duties of the Malazines and the Marachose, we carefully examined all the suspects, and there is no evidence that any means of disguise were used in this case.
Huh. Well then, how do we explain all this?
So far, it seems more likely that the gang stole documentation belonging to the inmates due for release.
Actually, there is a potion that can completely change someone's appearance. If they use that, even a Melazine wouldn't be able to detect it.
A shape-shifting potion?
Forgive me, head nurse, but this is the first time I'm hearing about it. If such a potion truly existed, it would jeopardize our entire investigative process at the Marachose Phantom. Are you certain of this?
Yes, I am.
But
please, trust me in my professional opinion as an experienced clinician.
At the same time, without any solid evidence, it's pure speculation. If we can round up all the... Yep, let's do that.
okay. Well, it was our negligence that meant we had to come and conduct these post-internment interrogations.
Your Grace, bad news. I paused the releases like you asked, but we were too late. A bunch of people already got processed 2 hours ago. I checked the list, and sure enough, it's all the people who gave statements.
2 hours ago? That's before today's interrogations began. They had this all planned out.
So there really was a switch after all. They really pulled the wool over our eyes on this.
We should be able to catch up with them if we leave now, right?
Not if that potion is real. They can just switch faces again after leaving the fortress. And if the Marachose's Melazines can't even spot them, we wouldn't know where to start searching.
Yikes! So we're at a complete dead end!
Well, technically there is one more lead we could follow up on. We were only able to arrest this gang thanks to the help of a researcher from the Fontaine Research Institute.
Oh? Rawat? Isn't that the handsome guy we met at that skincare promotion?
Handsome? Maybe from a human point of view. I just remember that he specialized in potions. One of the crimes this gang is charged with is the manufacture and sale of illicit drugs. According to Mr. Rawat, they appear to have stolen technology he developed through his research and used it in their operation. At first, he thought it was a typical case of intellectual property infringement, and he tried to negotiate with them. But once he discovered their criminal operation, thanks to his report, we were able to swoop in and—
What a hero!
No doubt. This is worth following up on. As the one who snitched on them, it's highly likely that Rawat will be targeted by the escapees. That aside, since he's negotiated with them in person before, there's a chance he'll have some additional information for us.
Understood, Your Grace. My team and I will head to the Fontaine Research Institute right away. In the meantime, please keep an eye on the face switch victims for us.
Of course.
Miss Morgan, I'd like to come along and help you catch these criminals. Well, I'm the one who discharged the fake Eric last night.
Don't say that, head nurse. Your focus was on the inmate's health, and rightly so. We can't ask you to help with arresting criminals. That's our duty.
I also have a more personal reason. Cotton is a patient of mine, and if I don't get a new batch of medicine to him in time, his condition will get much worse.
Look, head nurse, I completely understand where you're coming from. But arresting criminals is dangerous business. And if anything happened to you, none of us can afford to take on that responsibility.
Don't worry, I can defend myself just fine.
You say that, but still—
If I may, Miss Morgan, Sigewinne is the one who raised the potion hypothesis, and I'm sure she has far more expertise on the topic than your team. My suggestion— And if you really are worried for her safety, then— Ah, there you go, right on cue. Knew I could count on you.
Okay. Well, since this plan has the Duke's blessing, far be it from me to refuse. We should head off immediately. Time is of the essence.
The bubble gun, yeah.
weather's so nice. Let's go have a walk around the harbor.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Thank you for complete.
Good night, Mystery.
Greetings. Sorry to impose, but I'm afraid we're here on urgent business. And we're gonna need you to cooperate.
The Marche Phantom. Let me guess, you're investigating some more illegal research?
Not this time, no. We're looking for a researcher. Do you know where we might find Mr. Rawat?
Rawat. Oh yeah, Mr. Handsome, right? He actually doesn't work on site here very often. There's a handful of researchers in the nearby area who know him pretty well, though. You can see what they know.
Just a handful? Paimon figured he'd be the most popular guy around.
Well, I guess you could say he's popular, at least on a superficial level. He's blessed with good looks, so he tends to make a good first impression on people. But in all his time here at the Fontaine Research Institute, I don't think he's ever had a single deep conversation about his research with his peers. That's no way to make real friends around here.
He's a charlatan!
That's so weird. He definitely didn't come across like a recluse at that product promotion.
Oh, I don't find that weird at all. He definitely didn't strike me as the kind of guy who's good at making friends.
Really? Paimon couldn't tell. Must be a Melusine perception thing.
Okay, we should talk with his acquaintances. But we also need to check the Research Institute.
Sure thing. We'll go out.
Definitely gonna get fired. Quit being a researcher.
Excuse us.
That's me. What is it?
Are you close friends with Rawat?
We're trying close friends. You mean because I told him I had feelings for him once? I doubt I'm the first or last at the Institute to make that mistake. Why would you single me out as a close friend? I should have known, really. Men like him, they just enjoy being surrounded by fawning women. They're not interested in a serious relationship.
Okay. We were just kind of wondering if you might know where...
Why would I know where he's at? I barely know him, and he probably doesn't...
Ugh, this is getting annoying. Shall we go ask someone else?
I think she knows Rawat better than she cares to admit. If we leave now...
Maybe, but...
She's displaying symptoms common among people in love, if that's what you mean. But I know...
It's...
Oh, we're still no closer to finding Mr. Rawat. Oh, by this point, he could be in grave danger.
Danger? Wait, why are you looking for him again?
Oh, that's right, yeah!
What? How has...
Oh, I see.
Okay, but this is purely out of concern for his safety. I heard she raised him alone.
Oh, okay.
Nope, sorry. I only found out the thing about... When I told him I had a crush on him, I offered to help him take care of his mother. And yeah, maybe the... Unbelievable.
Looks like her love syndrome is flaring up again.
We need to find out Mr. Rawat's mother's address. Let's check with the Marechaussee officers when we regroup.
Cool, sounds like a plan. Hey there, are you in Teep?
What do you want?
We're here to ask about...
Close?
Huh?
It's been a good few days since I last saw him. I don't...
Would the...
Yeah, kinda. Butterfly do, or whatever he calls it. I heard he made a tidy sum off of that one.
Okay, now we're getting...
Most of the other researchers here focus on mechanics, energy, stuff like that. But I'm studying coatings. There's a huge overlap in our areas of research. Why would he refuse to work with me? I bought his product once, and noticed it contains a unique substance that might have applications in coatings, too. If it worked out, Don't get me wrong. I had no intention of plagiarizing his work. I was hoping to get official permission to use his findings in my own research. Followed the proper procedure, but despite that, he turned me down not once, not twice, but 3 times. It's like he's vehemently opposed to the...
Huh, so is Rawat antisocial, or is this guy just jealous? Well, it doesn't look like we're gonna get any...
Wait, 1 second. Mr. Antibes, next time...
Huh?
Sorry to bother you, sir, but are you...
Who's asking?
Just some concerned citizens helping out the Marechaussee
Not anymore, we're not. Turns out we don't see eye to eye.
Oh yeah? What happened?
The thing about us researchers is, most of us do what we do for some sort of higher purpose. But not Rawat. All he cared about was how to commercialize his findings. He won't even let you work with him unless you sign a confidentiality agreement first. Also, he has better control over who gets which intellectual property rights. How are you supposed to get any meaningful research done working with a guy like that? Now that I've got my own technical solution for my compressor, I don't need to work with him anymore.
So that's what Rawat is really like.
We'd still like to know where to find him.
Wait, you're... Yeah, I know.
Wow, turns out Sigewinne's got...
Thing is, I have no real way of knowing where he might... But if you want my advice, I'd say go talk to the peddlers.
Peddlers?
Yeah,
Back when I was working with him, I noticed he met with them quite often. Wouldn't surprise me if they were involved in some shady business together, because it seemed like they went out of their way to avoid discussing anything in my presence. The little I overheard was about manufacturing and selling pharmaceutical drugs. Like I said, he's all about the money.
Drugs? Doesn't he work with skincare products? Do those count as drugs?
Who knows? I never cared to find out. He's the morgue rubber, not me.
Thank you.
Welcome. Goodbye, and may we both reach new heights in our scientific endeavors.
Only I wish so too.
Well, that's all 3 researchers. Let's head back to the meetup point. You know? So what's your...
So your thoughts about...
Well,
You can't judge a person solely based on their appearance.
Head nurse. Traveler. I assume you've spoken with the researchers.
Bertram mentioned Rawat's involvement with some pharmaceutical merchants. Do you know if he's registered any pharmaceutical brands?
Since he was a whistleblower on such a huge case, I ran a background check on him. I don't remember there being any brands under his name.
How strange. If he was so focused on commercializing his research and averse to sharing his technology with others, why wouldn't he have registered his own brands? Maybe he and his business partners needed to avoid public scrutiny?
You think he may have colluded with the gang?
Yes, he definitely did.
Well, the crime was manufacture and sale of drugs, and that would certainly be in his wheelhouse. We can't rule it out.
Isn't that pretty unlikely, though? He was the one who blew the whistle on them!
Most children who come to me with tooth decay have suffered pain for a long time already, but they'll still try to hide the fact that they eat too many sweets. Grown-ups and children aren't so different in that regard.
I saw him when he came to make his report, and I certainly didn't get the feeling that he was the type to collude with criminals. Perhaps it's more likely that they were coercing him. You mentioned that he comes from a poor family. So, it's possible that the criminals approached him, asking for academic support, luring him in with the promise of riches. By the time he discovered who they really were, he was in too deep. They had leverage on him, so he was forced to keep working for them. I've seen it happen many times before.
That does make a lot of sense. It would definitely explain why he was so unwilling to cooperate with his fellow researchers. No wonder he's so unsociable. He must be on edge all the time with a gang of crooks breathing down.
In that case, the situation... If Rawat was working with the escaped inmates, they're sure to know more about his whereabouts than us.
Based on the information we've gathered so far, he was last seen 2 days ago. If no one's seen him since...
2 days ago? So he went...
That was the same day he reported the criminals, too.
Don't worry, everyone. I believe we still have a chance.
Yeah, he must have been worried that they'd come for him.
All the more reason to find him as soon as possible. The only lead we have at the...
Yep.
Okay, then there's no time to lose. whoever's inside has restricted mobility. Oh, it seems serious.
Break the door down?
No, I'll handle it. Let the expert deal with it. There'll be a mountain of paperwork if we damage a citizen's property. Calm down. Deep breaths. Remember your training. Control your strength. And... it's open!
Seath, take a few people and lie in wait. Keep your eyes peeled for any activity around the house. The Traveler, head nurse, and I will go inside.
Oh, there. On the bed, there's an old lady.
We could try, but
Well...
Yep. Hello, ma'am. Might I ask if... hard of hearing...
I have one here.
I'd like to show you a photo, ma'am.
Looks like this isn't gonna...
Well, looks like we're out of leads.
Is it possible he could have avoided returning here because he knew he'd be in...
Maybe.
Guess so.
I suggest we all return there now.
Sorry, officer, but could I stay here?
Of course. Travel.
Also, I'd like some Marechaussee members to...
Why?
If or what knows how serious his mother's can...
Got it.
Thanks for helping me out yet again, Traveler.
No problem.
Yes.
Oh.
Let me take care of a few things first.
Yeah, of course.
I can tell that her family has tried a lot of different treatment methods, including some very expensive medicines. Unfortunately, her condition is so multifaceted that a recovery looks all but impossible.
Sigewinne. My mom bets being a nurse must be pretty tough at times like this.
Yes. It makes me a little sad. In Amelizine's eyes, a human's birth, aging, sickness, and death are as much a part of natural law as sunrise and sunset. But human medicine can defy that law to some extent.
Oh!
In that sense, it is a science of miracles. That is why I became fascinated with it in the first place.
So interesting.
But it was only after I truly became a doctor that I realized miracles don't always happen. Even the greatest doctors cannot cure all diseases.
Correct.
Sigewinne.
Well, don't worry about me, Paimon. A doctor's duty is not to cure all diseases, but to treat whatever ailments they can. At the very least, I can lower her fever. That way she'll suffer less. And she might even be able to see her son.
Yeah. All the more reason to find Rawat as soon as possible, even if we don't catch those crooks.
Oh, her fever is getting worse.
Sure, we're on the case.
Found the hot water?
Sure did. And look, judging by this...
Oh, that's great, Nick. The wet towel is ready. I'm giving you another injection. Are you feeling better now? Oh, it's all right.
Thank you. Officer Morgan.
We came as soon as we heard the news.
Don't blame yourself. There's a mechanical door over here.
It's open. Let's go in.
Let's just bring this. Baby! Oh, your ball. Your boy. Oh. Wait, where's her gun? Just shoot her gun? What? No.
How did they get in here? Captain, up ahead! Those look like our fugitives!
So they found this place too? Don't let any of them escape!
We'll talk!
That wasn't very nice.
Surrender!
Your sins weigh upon your soul. Your penance is due. You stand condemned.
I hear everything. One thing after another.
Emerge, right now. What a nuisance. Emerge.
Keep up.
Judgment is upon you.
Guilty.
You stay condemned.
Guilty.
Is that all? Right here.
Let's nip that in the bud.
Picked the wrong test subject.
Captain, according to our list, many of the fugitives aren't accounted for. There may be others hiding deeper inside.
So these guys...
The Marashose Phantom! How did they find this place?
Wait, it's that guard from the fortress.
That's right, I'm on your side. I mean, the Duke sent me. What's the matter?
Mr. Odilon, didn't I tell you a few days ago that you need to stop...
Well...
Officer Morgan, this man is an imposter. The real Mr. Odilon
What?
Looks like the head nurse was right about the face-swapping method. Arrest them all! DuPont, stay here and keep guard. And watch the exit.
Got it.
So many jars. Was this some sort of production facility?
This scent. It's probably the ingredients used.
How come they're all empty? Did it sell so well that he ran out of supply?
How strange. Why would Rawat choose to manufacture a popular product like that in such a difficult-to-reach location, given our suspicion that he may have been coerced into the illegal drug trade? I would have thought that any production facility we find here would be used for illicit purposes.
Perhaps butterfly dew is itself an illegal drug.
Do you have any evidence for that claim?
No, just a guess. We need to find Rawat as soon as possible. He has all the answers we need.
Understood. Well, let's not linger here. Let's go. Come on.
Doesn't look like we're gonna get this door open. Let's find another way around. This one's closed too. What's with those carts and tracks? Oh, maybe it's one of those doors that opens when it senses cargo passing through. There's a loaded cart right over there. Let's bring it to the door and give it a try.
Keep up. Can't see?
Shroud! I'm always watching. Emerge. Here. Is that all?
Through me, justice is served. You stay condemned.
Keep up.
No, not another puzzle.
Keep up.
There we go. The other part was a fluke.
This room's much smaller than the others.
Judging by the implements on the table, this looks like a potion-making lab.
Head nurse! Over here!
Let's see. Yikes, Sigewinne, where did that...
Oh, what a tragic way to go.
There's a path leading further on, Officer Morgan.
Keep up.
Shh, there's a whole bunch of people.
Are you serious? You're telling us that within a day, our faces are going to rot like yours?
Oh!
Spontanean physiology changed dramatically after that great flood, and it's not as compatible with this face-changing solution as before.
Why didn't you say anything before we all used it?
Look, my plan got you all out of prison, didn't it? You'd have much bigger problems to worry about right now if the Marshall-say Phantom found out about your other crimes. Consider an ugly mug getting off lightly.
Ugh. You're just lucky we didn't leave you in there after you disappeared on us with no warning. We only let it slide because we're former partners. And now you have the gall—
Partners? Make no mistake, each of us is only looking out for himself. If you place too much trust in others, well, I'm afraid that's your problem. You hid things from me too. Remember how you each had a spare potion? You kept quiet about it until we planned the prison break?
Oh, and you didn't have a secret spare? Then do you want to explain how you melted your face off before all this?
Guys, that's enough. Calm down. It is what it is. What's the plan, Parton? I'm assuming you brought us here for a reason?
There is no plan. We followed him here on the promise of more juice. But it turns out there ain't a drop here. Besides, what does it matter now anyway? He already said, even if we did get our hands on more of that stuff, switching faces again solves nothing. They're still gonna meld up—
I said enough arguing! Parton, tell us the plan.
The most practical solution is to continue using the potion.
Are you kidding me? This stuff was hard enough to get a hold of even when we had a supply. Now you're asking us to use it like skin lotion, after the flood all but wiped the supply out?
Well, there is another option. But you'll have to make a deal with me first.
Okay, now we're talking.
I have a document I took from that researcher that details how to make a replacement. Just give me one bottle of the undiluted... What's the problem? I thought you always kept reserves. Or do you really just have one...
What do you think? That we were shipping them into the fortress of Meripede by the back?
Well then, say hello to never showing your marred faces in public again.
Ugh, I've heard enough! Get him! Let's see if that document even exists!
Freeze! Marshall, say Phantom!
What? Who let them in?
Officer Morgan, before anything else, please find out Rawat's status.
Rawat?
I don't see him. Hand over the hostage now, if you want any chance of avoiding an extension to your sentences.
Spare us your condescending attempts to coax us back to our cells. You think we're looking to negotiate? Rawat is dead.
Oh.
Parton?
Arrest them all! Don't let anyone get away!
I'll uproot you! Oh. Can't see? Tough crowd. One with the force. Let's nip that in the bud.
Nothing lasts forever. Right now. What a nuisance.
Stay put. Yeah. Ready, go.
Judgment is upon us. I'm used to it. A tough crowd. And my judgment has failed.
You might feel a little prick.
That's cool.
Another test subject. Freeze!
Let's blow bubbles! Now I'm mad!
Freeze!
Don't slip and fall! Now I'm mad! That wasn't very nice! Oh!
Ha! Come on out.
Freeze!
Emerge. So much for eternity.
Don't be scared.
I hear everything. I'll bury you.
Freeze!
Enshroud. I'll uproot you.
Don't be nervous! Just relax!
Pick the wrong test subject.
Floaty woody! Now I'm yeah!
Go get him, Uruguay! Uruguay, you're up!
Wibbly wobbly! Yeah!
Don't be scared!
You might feel a little prick. Yeah! Let's blow bubbles!
One thing after another.
Ready, go! Uruguay, you're up! That hurt real bad! Ouch!
Show them. Right now. What a nuisance.
Can't see? Let's nip that in the bud.
Wibbly wobbly! Oh! No! I swear it's for medical research! Now I'm mad!
Merge.
Stay put! You're up! Let's blow bubbles! Oh.
Huh. Gotta say, I never expected to see the head nurse in combat.
Some patients respond better to a more aggressive treatment plan. Did we get everyone?
Captain, we finished the head count. Potten's missing.
Over there! The door's closing!
One group trying to arrest me, another trying to hunt me down. Good. I gotta kill two birds with one stone.
How did he get up there? There must be a secret passage somewhere. Find it!
Don't waste your energy. I already sealed it off.
How naive. We have more people outside. If we're not back out by the agreed time, they'll come to our rescue.
Well then, you'd better hope they get here in time.
There's some kind of gas leaking from the pipes. Be careful, it's poisonous.
This is our distribution center, where we store the product derived from our source solution. We had to use special fire prevention methods to prevent contamination. The pipe network here was designed to emit a gas for firefighting. One little modification later, and it makes an efficient death trap.
Why would you do this? Your partners are here too.
Oh, please. If they can't supply what I need, they're of no further use to me. Besides, I can't have them exposing my potential whereabouts.
Right?
He's a maniac! Come on, we gotta find a way to open that door!
Go ahead, struggle in vain. Once the last of you croaks, no one will ever find me
The
again.
strike actually might
So
not
long.
apply to Genshin, but I still want double details on it to make
Are you sure you're ready to leave,
make sure
Potton?
I feel the view.
You haven't changed your dressing today.
You can't cure my face. Just give up.
And what if I could?
Nice try. You're just trying to stall me. Don't you worry about me. I'll find a way to cure my face once I get out of here.
I still wish Roat was the villain, but whatever.
Oh, I doubt it. After all, Fontanians can no longer dissolve in primordial seawater.
What the? How did you?
The key component of the face-changing potion is the fluid left behind by dissolved Fontanians.
That was obviously
It
correct.
might look like ordinary water, but it has some. Before the flood, all Fontanians were oceanids, physiologically speaking. A potion made from that fluid could dissolve and reconstruct the face of a Fontanian, in much the same way as theoretically it could give someone any appearance they wished. But since the flood, Fontanians have become true humans. They can no longer provide the source material for this potion.
Are you saying this potion is made from Fontanians dissolved with primordial seawater? And their crimes are far worse than I thought.
How could you know all of this? No, wait. Of course! Well, well. So that's why you have a human appearance.
It also means that I have a formula you're unaware of.
Oh!
The air's getting thicker. It's getting hard to breathe.
I might get to make a deal today after all. Alright, keep...
Oh, it's not a formula, but a finished product.
What?
When I tried Rawat's skincare product, I noticed it had a certain special component in it. So I had my friends gather some other ingredients. I'm guessing his skincare lotion contains the fruits of your joint research?
Huh. Impressive guesswork. Yeah, we were his supplier for some of the raw ingredients. But it only contains a tiny amount of the active ingredient. The effect is minuscule compared to the undiluted fluid.
Well, I found a way to reverse the dilution process, giving the skincare lotion a similar effect to the fluid it is derived from.
That's impossible.
If I tell you some of the ingredients, I think you can figure it out. First, you need to combine tainted hydrophantasm tissue with transoceanic pearls at a ratio of around 3 to 7.
Tainted hydrophantasms and transoceanic pearls. I see. Can't believe I never thought of that.
So, can we make a deal?
Sounds good to me. There's a delivery pipeline beneath this window. Drop the potion in, and I'll release you all.
Nope, not trusting you that easily. You're like those naughty kids who try to hide their illness. Open the sluice gate first, then I'll hand you the potion.
Even if you're not bluffing, your potion won't cure my face permanently. You really think you have any leverage here? I'm not closing the valve this time. Clock's ticking.
Fine, then I'll just stand here with the potion in my hand. And when I faint from the poison, I'll drop it and it'll be destroyed.
No.
It's open!
Disable that sluice gate! Jam it! Don't let—
That's more like it.
Head nurse, there's too much poison gas in here. We have to leave, now!
That was too close. That button is a real nasty piece of work.
Oh, don't be too quick to sit down. Moving around a little will help relieve the soreness. Same goes for you, Traveler. Oh, but Paimon, you should be fine, right?
Flying fast is pretty tiring too, actually. Anyway, that's not important right now. Paimon's still shocked to learn that there's a whole criminal operation going on behind that skincare.
Shame I ended up giving the improved version to Potten after finally making—
No, please don't. Paimon doesn't want to use that stuff anymore. Still, it was a pretty good job that Paimon wanted to buy some in the first place, huh? It ended up saving everyone's lives. Yeah,
Head nurse, I've done a final head count of our team and the criminals. Everyone's here and doing fine. We're ready to escort the fugitives back to the Fortress of It's a shame that we didn't find Rawat. At this point, I'm afraid he's probably deceased.
What a horrible bunch. Especially that Potten guy. If he hadn't made good on that deal, we'd all be dead because of him.
No, we wouldn't. I always keep a whole bunch of antidotes on me for emergencies. And one of them neutralizes that poison gas. We'd have been fine, even if you had no—
What? Then why did you give him the potion?
If this is true, I must concur. If he changes his appearance and flees Fontaine, it's unlikely—
No, you don't understand. I gave him the potion precise—
What do you mean?
We gotta hurry. She won't last much longer.
Is Rawat? Is
If
Rawat?
this rain keeps
Yes.
up, my fur will be dripping wet.
of a muscle. Captain? You're just in time. While I was lying in wait, I spotted this crook snooping around, trying
Oh.
Are you... Pot...
What?
This is how Potton looked before his face was marred.
Wait, so what's going on? Wasn't the whole point of the potion to disguise himself and escape Fontaine? Why would...
Enough of this nonsense. Let me in.
You better pipe down.
To heck with it. Listen to me.
I knew it.
I'm Rawat. That's my mother in there.
He's gotta be lying, right?
Forced against his will. Back when I was being coerced, everyone thought I was colluding of my own free will. And then when I actually became a criminal in my own right...
I knew it! There we
you all
go.
suddenly thought I must be Amazing what a difference a handsome face makes.
Save us the speech.
You want an explanation? Fine. I'll tell it how it is. When I was just Potton, the whole world treated me with contempt.
Ew. What do you want? Get away from me.
Women despise me.
Oh.
Collaborate? You don't look like much of a researcher to me.
My peers.
Mr. Potton, was it? I'm most interested in your research. Consider my offer carefully. I doubt you'll find other investment opportunities.
Only villains would work with me.
You want out of the game? Forget about it. Turns out, I slipped up a little. Left your picture with some Marechaussee Phantom officers. Easy mistake to make. Now they've listed you as an accomplice and drawn up an arrest warrant. So I suggest you put any thoughts of running away.
There was no way out for me until I could stop being Potton.
Mr. Rawat, I
knew it.
I became popular with women.
This new potion you developed is fascinating. Genius, in fact. Would you consider working with me?
My peers looked up to me.
Okay, I'm very interested in your research, sir. You must...
And the villains even began to fear me. Becoming Rawat showed me what a superficial world we live in.
Oh!
I did not hold a grudge. After all, this superficiality could be made to work in my favor. Or so I thought. But alas, the world seemed bent on finding a reason to make me despise it. Mother, I'm back. How are you doing?
Who are you?
I bought the best medicine Mora could buy, but nothing would cure her illness. In the end, I hoped she'd at least be able to see her son one last time before she passed, but when everyone else rejected me, the only person who cared about me was my mother. Then, when I became a rising star in the Fontaine Research Institute, I was unrecognizable to her.
I have to let her see me again. Even if it means donning my own wretched, ugly face. Well, is that enough explaining for you? Now do you understand? Let me inside already!
Have you ever considered if you'll even be able to look your mother in the eyes? After what you've done, you found a way to completely change your identity. You could easily have escaped from them. But no. You chose to keep working with them.
Why would I want to give up on such a lucrative business? The profits were dozens of times that of the synth business, and it was all above board.
So you kept being a villain just for the money?
Villain? By what standard? Is doing evil deeds really what makes someone a villain in your eyes? Or does it all come down to the way they look? None of you saw a villain when I was wearing my other face, did you? You have no right to judge me. You're all just fake people living in a hypocritical world. I regret nothing. My mother would understand.
You're a villain to the core, but especially that tongue.
Honestly, I don't see a villain when I look at your current face either.
Don't humor me. You don't seem surprised by my confession in the least. How long have you known the truth?
I didn't know anything for sure until you chose to take that potion bottle and spare our lives. But if you're asking when I started suspecting you, it was the first time I had to confirm my suspicions. That's why I chose to...
Are you kidding me? A young, promising researcher and a wretched criminal? What on earth gave you the idea that they could be one and the...
Well, there were no visual clues. This potion's face-changing effects are very powerful. But I believe I understand humanity a little better than most of my kind. Humans have certain fundamental qualities that do not change with their appearance.
Fundamental qualities, huh? So you think you're the one who's seen through me, do you? Most people probably don't know this, but I think I can guess what your deal is. Melazine constitutions are very close to that of water, so it stands to reason that the potion should work on them too. You used it yourself, didn't you? That's why you have a human appearance.
Sigewinne? Yes, you're right.
I'll bet it was back in the days when Melazines were discriminated against because of their appearance. It was either carry on living in the gutters as part of an alien race cast out by humanity, or become the head nurse of the fortress of Meripede, revered by all. Not a hard choice to make. It's a no-brainer. So you see, you and I were the same. And I'm the one who saw through you!
That's not important right now. You came here to see your mother, didn't you?
Huh?
Head nurse, I'm not sure that's a good idea in his current state.
Don't worry. Back in the warehouse when I traded the potion for our lives, I was doing it to test him. He was willing to risk sacrificing his only chance of escaping capture by opening the gate in exchange for the potion.
I see.
So before you arrest him, please allow him to see his mother one last time. The Traveler and I will—
All right.
Mom? It's me, Potton. Your son. Mom!
I'm sorry, but I have some bad news. I examined—
What?
Your appearance no longer has any bearing on her ability to recognize you.
No, it can't be. I've done so much to get to this point. Please, you have to recognize me. No.
The temperature of his palm must have changed. I'm sorry. It seems I couldn't bring him back to you after all.
It's you. Thank you.
Of course.
Mom! Why will you answer her and not me? Why?
No more questions, Potton. She's gone.
Mom?
I'm sorry to say this, Potton, but you and I are not the same.
Yeah, they're not. She did it because she had to. She did it for his gain.
The wait is over, everyone!
Another Oh, Sigewinne's here too! Hey, Sigewinne!
Oh, Traveler.
Of course! Nurse's orders, right?
Actually, I'm mostly here to help Officer
That reminds—
Nope, there's nothing to— Besides, officers have already retrieved all butter. After consulting Monsieur Nervulette, I came up with a way to neutralize any harmful effects.
Wow,
Thank you for serving as our consultant, head nurse. All the butterfly dew we recovered.
Great! Good job!
Also, you mentioned you wanted a copy of Watt's interrogation records. Well, technically, Potton's records. After he saw his mother for the last time, it was like all his mental defenses came crashing down. He put up no resistance during the interrogation, and apparently, the formula was something he discovered by chance while helping the criminal gang produce synth. Later, their supplier was Vache.
Oh!
But you could also argue that they were the ones doing him a favor. His operation helped Vache's gang dispose of. It made for a seamless collaboration. One man's trash was another man's treasure. and there were no loose ends. It's no wonder we never noticed what Potten's gang was up to.
Vache again, huh? Is there still no end to the harm he caused?
If Vache with Farina, now
Make
Vache
no
with
mistake.
this.
The crimes of Vache and his accomplices will come to an end. It's only a matter of time. Since the flood cut off their supply of primordial seawater, they've been forced to resort to riskier methods, like using their private reserve to attack people on the street. After receiving numerous reports, we were able to...
That sounds more like it!
Based on what he told us in his confession, we pretty much had him backed into a corner. Even though he made a point of distancing himself from the gang, he tried to throw us off his tail by reporting his accomplices, giving him enough time to But there was one thing he hadn't anticipated. Even though Potten had been missing for a long time, we were very much still on the lookout for him. So
So he tried this once before, huh?
Looking at the interrogation records, it seems like he spent the first sum of money he earned as reward on his mother's...
Yes, which is why I suspect that his initial motive for using the potion was not personal greed, but a desire to become somebody who had the power to save her. Even so, he went too far. In the end, he got what he deserved.
I understand. Thank you for bringing me these records.
Why did you want them anyway?
Potten was one of my patients, so I need to put together a medical file for him. My teacher always stressed that a person's life experiences are just as important to their file as their medical history.
Why are you still treating him like your patient? Isn't he...
That may be true, but a patient is a patient, regardless of the choices that bring them to my care.
One last thing, head nurse. Please keep everything you... It would be for the best if most of Fontaine knows nothing of its existence. I know...
Of course!
Thank you for understanding. I'll take my leave then.
So, Sigewinne, did you really use that potion?
Why do you sound so surprised, Paimon? I told...
You mean that story about the witch and the potion? So it was...
Yes, it really...
But...
I know. There are some secrets I can't tell anyone about. Before I tell you, though, could you follow me?
Of course!
Good to see you, traveler. Paimon. I trust all has been going...
Big news, everyone. The Udex is out of his office on important business.
Hmm? Is that genuinely something people would consider big news?
Why wouldn't they? Important business is a big deal.
Ah, yes, you're quite right. When someone you care about requires emotional support, being there for them at the right time and place is of the utmost importance. After reading the Maréchal Phantom's reports, I had a feeling a trip here might be in order.
Take note. That, my friends, is how Monsieur Neuvillette shows that he cares. We're both here for the same purpose, actually. To accompany Sigewinne.
So the old friend she mentioned was her... Oh, sorry.
I knew it was the
She
witch.
considers that title to indeed.
I
In
knew
fact,
it was the
believe
witch. I
Sigewinne
was
would take it
right.
as
In those days, many people harbored prejudices against Melusines. She was the only teacher willing to take
Wow. It's really nice of you two to be.
a younger colleague. Sigewinne served a sentence in the fortress of Meripede hundreds of years ago.
Oh.
And after she did her time, she decided to stick around. She's been an integral part of our administration. Strictly speaking, the head nurse has been around longer than most people in the fortress.
She served a sentence?
Yes. Long before I became Udex, there was an ancient law in Fontaine that prohibited any... Initially, I and most researchers believed this law to have been... But now, it seems more likely that the law was nothing more than an insurance policy. A way for Egeria to ensure that her people would remain insulated from the truth, thus enabling...
Ignorance is bliss.
Sigewinne had her reasons for choosing to obtain a human form, but the act was nonetheless...
Could you tell us a little bit more about what happened?
Certainly. Sigewinne does not object to her close friends learning about her history. In fact...
Even with their daughter so ill, they kicked you out? Stubborn as... Shame that I don't have the energy to get over there. You're laughable, you...
Master.
I discovered a strange disease. One I suspect. I had no choice but to experiment on myself to find a cure. But I hit a wall.
It wasn't actually a
And
witch
as
after
you
all.
can see,
Then I'll find a...
there's no need.
But...
As I said before, a doctor's...
I know. I'll do what...
Even if it means break...
As long as I don't hurt anyone.
Then I shall make one more final gamble. If I am able. If not, then it means I will leave you a parting gift. An accidental...
When Sigewinne returned, the miracle had not occurred. She found a potion bottle and a note on the table. After using the potion as instructed, she gained her current form, breaking Fontaine's law in the process. And after I had confirmed the veracity of the events, I gave my verdict.
So that's what happened.
I fear Sigewinne only understood the full story after the truth about the dissolution of Fontainians was uncovered. When I reflected on all this with that knowledge in hand, I felt a deep sense of regret. As I use the law to uphold justice, there are times when I cannot help but acknowledge its ruthlessness. After the final details of the events surrounding Sigewinne's transformation came to light, I checked several sources and, thankfully, the legal code does not require Sigewinne to shoulder any additional punishment.
Wonder how she feels about all this.
Since she invited you here, I imagine she intends to speak.
Alright, this will be it.
You're here. The old friend I mentioned was my teacher. When she passed, her body was nowhere to be found. All that's left of her is an empty
Sigewinne, the witch who gave you the magic potion, she was your
I
teacher,
knew it!
wasn't she?
Sounds like Monsieur Nervillette.
After learning the truth, it must have been...
Well, to be honest, after I realized what really happened that night, my first thought was that it kind of made sense. It seemed exactly like the sort of thing she would do.
But she was planning to sacrifice herself and never told you.
That's just who she was. If lying is what it took to get a kid to take their medicine, then that's what she'd do.
All right, but why did you turn yourself in?
I broke the law, simple as that. My teacher made her choice, and I made mine.
True. It's just... the way Patton framed it when he was asking you all those questions, it made Paimon really mad. You're not like him at all, and everything Nervillette said confirms that. And yet, you were still convicted and thrown in prison. It just feels so unfair.
Unfair? I happen to think just the opposite. If I hadn't served that time, I'm not sure I would have been able to stay strong when he was questioning me.
What makes you say that?
I knew you'd be curious. The verdict came down.
Oh,
This Melusine is guilty. Deudex defended the authority of Fontaine law, but he did not confiscate the Melusine's medical kit. And so, the Fortress of Meripede gained a new little doctor. She still wore her hood and raincoat, even though it never rained in the fortress. Perhaps thanks to her human appearance, no one refused her treatment. She treated more and more patients, and her sentence grew ever shorter. Finally, the people of the fortress could not live without her. And though her sentence ended, she did not leave them either.
So that's like his wife.
Then one day, she received an invitation from the outside world. The location seemed familiar, and when she arrived, an old lady was waiting for her. She saw right through the Melusine's disguise, but didn't reveal it. Instead, she asked a question.
Tell me, why do you think you gained the respect of so many people, despite being a Melusine?
Because I look like a human?
It's been 50 years, Sigewinne, and you haven't aged a day. I think everyone knows you are not human. I finally found you, after all these years. I still remember, you know. It was you who saved me that night.
But how? I was no longer a Melusine by then.
Does it really matter if you're human or Melusine? I remember the warmth of your palm. It's quite unmistakable. And you know what? It hasn't changed one
Oh my god, I'm tearing up. Oh my god.
You don't have to hide anymore, Sigewinne. These days, everyone wants to make friends with Melusines. And I think that it's all because of you. I'm sorry I couldn't say this until now, but thank you, Dr. Melusine.
She was the girl! Oh, not the witch, she was the girl.
That's an ending Paimon can get behind.
After hearing everything Potten said, I wanted to tell him
Oh,
that
it's
it didn't
the
matter who he looked like
girl!
on the outside.
That was the witch. No, it's the girl.
I tried to treat him, but the roots of his problem had no... I understand. Thanks, you two. I appreciate you being...
Oh, it's nothing.
Oh, there's one more reason I invited you here. It's about time I finally... In order to restore the appearances of the face-swapping victims, the Marechaussee Phantom gave me special permission to make a few bottles of that potion. And I'm...
Well, still, Melusine physiology wasn't affected by the Great Flood, right? So that means after all, from a Melusine point of view, Paimon bets Melusines look the cutest of all!
Paimon, after everything, she...
What was Paimon thinking?
Leave it to me.
Oh, that hit too hard. Oh my god. Oh, this is better than Cloran, I'm sorry. Well, an inch better than Arlecchino.
Personally, I think the idea of things staying the same forever
But my
is
computer's
quite
about to run out of
beautiful.
battery, so we're gonna call it here.
But alas, that is simply not the way the world...